Good day, everyone, and welcome. Before we start, we have a disclosure. Please be aware of risk in the future trading. We strongly recommend to stay on the sim as long as needed before you go live. All our videos are for educational purpose only. You're very welcome to follow any of our automated signal as long as you are on a sim. For an example, we have an ES. We had an entry at 41.57.75, target 41.40.50, 65 ticks into the trade. Nasdaq, we are already, it is a beautiful trade on the Nasdaq. YM, you will see the signals come in here on the first column. On the 1 minute, we are using the blue charts, which they hit the target and got out of those trades. On the right upper corner, it is the 15-second, and we use the Y charts, but also they hit the target, all of them. So we are waiting on a new signal, and then we're gonna be sharing some different type of an auto trade. This is the ES at 3 minutes. We are already hit the target, and we still have one more trade and we are done with it. The same thing apply for 2 minutes. Already hit the target on the first trade, and we are gonna go for one more round on this, and now it's gonna start again, and it takes 1 second and then it disappear and it start going one more time on this one here. On the ES 5 minutes, we are already into the trade without a trailing stop or a stop loss. We are you can use a trailing stop loss, or you can put it on zero and you let the auto trade take the trade, and then once the trend is over, it's gonna go ahead and close the trade by itself. Let's take another one, and then we figure out what's going on with the ES, because the ES just hit the target. There is nothing new right now on the ES. CL, we are going on a full throttle. The DEX is on a full throttle. Russell, that's enough, and we will cover what's going on the ES. On the DEX, we are using, if you notice, we are using the trailing stop. It's the same auto trade, but if you put the trailing stop on zero, then the system will take over. We use the most advanced technology, and then if the market change direction, it will close that trade. And if you want to use a trailing stop, you can use a trailing stop, no big deal. The YM just finished 1700. We're gonna go ahead and reload it, and then the target disappear right now. Once we are done, it will disappear by itself, and And I think we are about to close the DAX. And now you see it disappeared, the target, because we have done so much advance in it. So now we are gonna go with one more round on the YM. The DAX is about to close, I think. This one is closed. CL. Good. That will give us enough room to see what's going on with the ES. To the downside, guys, the ES right now, there is no more trade on the ES to the downside. However, we have a pullback, re-entry pullback. Again, if you want to follow this, you have to be on SIM. We're not responsible for your trade. Okay, the DAX finished at 2,000, is done. We have a pullback. The first pullback is 4150 on the ES. And if you want to follow that on a SIM, you're very welcome. We're not responsible for your trade. We're not your financial advisor. And the second pullback re-entry short is 4154, 4154 or 4149.75. Now, if you are clever about it and you have money for two contracts, you put a sell order at 4149 on a SIM and another one 4153.75 on a SIM short. Do not take any short in this area, guys. Wait till the market goes up to 4149.75. The first short, and the second one is 4153.75 on a SIM. But do not take that short trade in here. Now on the Russell we have 4 contracts. The first two contract, the first trade was 400, and the second trade, the first two trades 865, and now we have those two 1940, and the same thing here on the DAX 2 minute. We still have the first trade that was 812. The first trade was 812, and now we are going to the second and the third trade on the DAX. As you see, this is the first trade. Okay, here is the first re-entry is right there, around 49, 41, 49.50. This is your first re-entry right there. Pullback re-entry short. On a sim, please. We're not responsible for your trade, and we're not your financial advisor. But this is where your first short entry. The DAX is done. 2 minutes is done on 21.66. For the scalper gold, okay, we have a new signal on the gold, also swing trading. You just saw it, sell order. And we have also on the scalper sell order on the gold. We're gonna extend the gold. Well, it does by itself anyway, but if we break that line here, the 1792, we are going to the 1787, and there is a lot of support area, so we are extended the target to 1787 on the gold. As you see it from the scalper, now we start getting a buy signal, but be careful with that. It's not over yet, because this is a re-entry point right here. So the scalper is probably want to fire a long trade right now, and I will not accept that at the moment. So be careful with the ES. If we break the 1792 on the gold, we are going down to the 1787. And if we look at the ES, this is where exactly we told you to take the short trade, and this is exactly what happened on the pullback re-entry. It is the secret in the future trading to predict the next move. Is not what happened in the past. Is irrelevant. And if you cannot predict the next move on the future, then you are in trouble. Whether you are auto trading or manual trading, you get in trouble. So this is your short re-entry. As long as this market is below the 41.50, we are okay to the short position. And if the market go above the 41.50, we're gonna experience some trouble in this area here between 54 and 58. This area here is not tradable at all. So you gotta be careful to keep thinking short as long as you are below the 41.50. You know, as long as we are below the 41.50. Also, you can direct your auto trade to short position or long position only. From the top here, you can direct your auto trade, and so you have so many options. But as long as we are below 41.50 is short, as simple as that. So one step at a time. If we break the last support area here, 41.43 on the ES, I'm expecting to go around 41.30, and it is very important to stay below the 41.50. And once we break the 41.43, I'm expecting to go to the 41.30.25. So we'll keep our eye on it. Also, look, there is an option. If you see, you can say close position. It takes 1 millisecond to close position. If you see a number you like and you're not going to be trading it again, you just close position, and then we hit over 1,000 and it is done. We're going to have the gold in here. Okay, the market, after this beautiful trend today, this morning here, the market is just sitting right there, and there is not much movement, so we're waiting on a nice movement. And I hope we're gonna stay below 41.50. If we are going above 41.50, we're gonna get in a lot of trouble with the sideways market, chop market, call it whatever you want. It's gonna be really nasty. So it's very important to stay below 41.50, pull back, re-entry short until it's over, and it's not near over yet. Now, if this market crossing the 41.50, all options are off to the short side, and you need to put on hold. Look at this. Very, very important number, 41.50.50. We should not go above that. Look at this. If we go above 41.50, there is no more trade in this area here above 41.50 all the way to the 41.58.50. In this area here, you cannot manual trade and you cannot auto trade. Those is a very prohibited zone here, and your chances surviving in this area here is going to be very critical. Whether you are auto trading or a manual trading has nothing to do with it. But if this market go above the 41.50.50 all the way to the 41.58.75, you're looking for trouble if you wanted to trade. And has nothing to do with your auto trade or your trading skill. You should not be disappointed about your trading skill or get depressed. Don't let this market get you. There is nothing wrong with your profession trading. It's just maybe you are not aware of where is the risk area on the chart or not. Whatever system you are using is irrelevant. So if we are going above the 41.50.50 all the way to the 41.58, this area cannot be traded. Simple as that. So as we notice, we've been given the warning from when we started at 10 o'clock, and now it's 10:29, and we've been screaming about that level. And as long as we understand the concept in the trading or in the future trading, where is the trouble? Where is the prediction? Then you can automate safely, and you can use the auto trade safely. I know it's an aggravation, to learn um, all those things in the market, but you cannot avoid it, you know. Um, I mean, it's like when I get a new mobile phone, I get agitated. I don't care about a new mobile phone, and as long as I can read my email and call my family, that's it. I don't care about all this wisdom on the mobile phone. But it's so aggravation when you just get a new mobile phone and you're not into it. So, and this is just a simple mobile phone. So I know from myself I get agitated from it, and I'm used to turn on the mobile phone on one button, and you know now you have to put the mobile phone in your face to open up and all this. So what I'm saying is, it's a little bit aggravation to learn all those small things in the market, but don't let it get you. I mean, it's like any other. Um, it's like any other job. You gotta learn it. Whether you wanna, uh, whatever you wanna do in this life, you gotta learn it. I mean, if you put me in a truck and to drive it, I'll wreck it. I don't know anything about driving a truck. If you put me on a boat, I probably will sink it. I don't know anything about boats. But if you put me on an airplane, I know how to fly an airplane. So what I'm saying is, everything is new, and it takes time to learn all those small things. But don't let it get you, because you learn it from one day to another. Some people might take them a little longer time than the others because they keep rejecting learning, and they just want it to be all on autopilot. And it cannot be all on autopilot, because also, even we are on autopilot, we need to understand, um, should we have this auto trade take long, or should we keep directing it to the short? Or if the auto trade taken long, after, so it is a critical trade, and I need to keep my eye on it. I mean, you cannot just autopilot and not understand what's going on, as a captain. So the same story here, guys. I mean, it's not, you should not get aggravated over it. You just say, okay, next time I see the ES come into this line, I understand, if it goes above, that means there is no more short trade. And when the market going below that number, there is no more long trade. I mean, then you will memorize that. Then you'll understand that. Then it will be easier on you the next step. Looking at PNL alone is not going to help you. The PNL, this is the last things you need to look at, and actually the PNL can confuse you. Um, if you like something, you just close it and say, okay, I'm done for today. But don't just occupy, oh, I got 100, I got 200, I got 300. Try to keep your eye on the market movement, please. It is your best deal, because once your eye gets used to the market, then you know exactly, if you have an auto trade, taking a trade, you know exactly um, how much the probability you're gonna get out of it. As an example, here's the scalper on a YM. I don't need to look to too many information. I have a YM trade, and the market is going down from the ES. I know the market is going down from the ES, and the YM follow the ES blindly. And if this ES able to break this projection here at 4140, as you notice, I can drag it all the way to the 33,584, and then what I will do, the support area here become a resistance. The 33,758 is a become a resistant. So what I will do, even if you move your trailing stop, and your trailing stops is not a dummy trailing stop, They are based on fib, but I can take the second one and put it right there. Now I'm on a look how the YM, where the YM pulled back to. Uh, the YM, it doesn't matter if it's an ES or a CL, is the same principle. If we notice, this is used to be support and now become a resistance. And if we notice, this market on the pullback came into the resistance at 33,795, and now we got it confirmed. And if this market gonna cross this number here, 33,758, there is no use to stay on that trade. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drag it, secure some of the profit. This is the signal entry. It's not this auto trade, the TI7 or the V8. But if this market goes above the 33,759, look how this market coming back to the support become a resistance, and this resistance is holding. And now I'm securing some of the profit. It's not costing me anything for me to get nervous with. And if this market goes down, it's fine. If this market go up and take me out of that trade, this is a 15-second. There is a plenty signal where it comes from, because it is a 15 signal. Let me give you another example. Let's take Russell. On the Russell, we're not out of the wood, guys. On the ES, we're still on the short, pullback re-entry short. So now let's look at the Russell. It's the same thing here on the Russell, the same principle actually. Actually, I have one of the gentlemen, one of our members, I was talking to yesterday. He said, Sam, when you see the sell signal, should I close position? You never force a close position on a winning trade. Never. And when you see sell position, that means is a warning sign. I respect that. But what we can do, we can go ahead and secure some more profit. Hopefully, this market is going to turn around and hit the target. But when you have a winning trade and you start getting those signals, sell, 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 and you get them also buy. Look at this. You get buy signal. Those are totally independent signal from the signal entry, automated trade. But then, like now, we secure some of the profit, and we can get it closer. We can get it all the way up to 22.43.4, and if this market, so we can secure at least $500-600 out of the trade. But you should not force close a winning trade, not unless if you are in a hurry to go out of the house. Then it's a different story. But you should never force close a trade if it's a winning trade. You should give it enough. As you see here, the market on the pullback came into the 22.43.5, okay? And I'm hiding behind the support area at 22.41. And this is what I'm talking about. You can put the trailing stop if you want to here, behind the support area, or you can put it where it's the pullback and hold in here at 22.43.6. So now we are securing more profit, but we're not forcing to close the position. And in case if this market pulled back, we secured around $600 out of that trade. And okay, now please be careful with the ES. Do not go long on the ES at the moment. Do not go long on the ES. This is the biggest mistake of traders, or do not let your auto trade go long on the ES. Not right now. Not right now, guys. Don't let those guys fool you. Nothing is going to happen to the ES. and you're not gonna miss a trend to the long side. There is no long trade. It's gonna get back again down. As long as we are below the 41.50, nothing is happening. And even when across the 41.50, there is no long trade until we are crossing, as I said before, the 41.58. So this is little small spike here, this movement here, that it is what make the amateur traders get excited, and they think they're gonna miss a trade. They're gonna jump on the wagon here. They're scared they're gonna miss a trade, and there's nothing in here. There is nothing in that trade you're gonna be missing. I don't know if it's gonna pull back from this one or that one here, but this movement here, you are messing with your. It is an extreme high risk trade, and your possibility, if you want to go long on the ES here, whether you are going long manually or you are going with the auto trade, your possibility to win a long trade in here, it is 1 out of 10. You are on a very high risk area to take a trade. So whether you are auto trading or manual trading, you're still gonna bump into those level here, and you're not able to get away with it. So don't say I'm auto trading, it's not my problem. Yes sir, it is your problem, because this one here is a $200 losses on your account, and it is your problem when you lose $200 a day for not looking at the chart. $200 a day, that's $50,000 a year. Yes, it is your problem. So has nothing to do with the auto trade. If the auto trade taken long in here, you are the captain on that ship, and you have to understand you are taking, or you are diving into the very hard area. And that's what you see when a guy is auto trading and not looking at the blue chart. He's just looking at P&L. You can see he's always in trouble, because he is dismissing. He always in trouble because he's not looking at the market condition. He's just looking at the P&L and auto trade, and that is the sad part, because if he don't get in trouble today, he's gonna get in trouble tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. And then what he does, he goes back to the optimization or to the setting, or he switch from time frame to another, and he stays in the circle for many months. And the reason is because he's not looking at the market. You know, he's just looking P&L. Well, the P&L is not going to come if you don't understand what's going on in the market, you know. So as we see here, the spike here, it was a fake spike, you know. And I said, do not get excited over it. It's going to fail. And it did fail. So one thing, I mean, you don't need to be sitting 29 years behind a computer to understand this. But if we look at the 41.48.25, 41.49.50, and we've been screaming about the 41.50 from 10 o'clock, now it's 10:43. Then above it, there is 41.51.50, 52.50, 53.50, 54. You're not able to cross all this just because we are auto trading. So when you're auto trading, maybe in that spike here, any kind of auto trade might take the bite and take a long trade. And if you are, some of the auto trades, they are on the bar close. And some of you don't know what is that, but most of the auto trades on Ninja Traders, they are on the bar close. And on the bar close is right here, 41.48. And if you are entering the auto trade at 41.48 because it's on the bar close, and now you are down in the hole for a couple $100. And so uh, as we see right now, the ES is keep going back and forth, and still we are still on short trade. There is no long trade. It's only pullback re-entry. Even if this market crossed the 4150, the chances of crossing all this big mass here, the percentage is almost to none, 0 to none. You know, not unless if there is some kind of freaking news out there, it's going to be changing the whole direction of the market on some kind of breaking news, or some, you know, maybe we found some treasure somewhere. But beside that, the ES is down, and it's going to stay down. And there is no long trade. And anything above 4150, you just dive into big pile of mud in here. There is nothing to trade. So this is not just apply on the ES. This is apply on NASDAQ, Dow Jones, ES, CL. And this is part of the trade, and you cannot avoid that. And now, as you see here on the Russell, this is an independent signal. We had sell, long, sell, and this is the gentleman yesterday was asking me about those. Should I close or not? So as you see, for safety, we have it at 22.43, and there we go. It's finished, you know. But at least we have tried to extend the life of a winning trade. So this is how we need to expand the life on a winning trade, but you don't close or overwrite an auto trade and close position because you have seen $100 or $200. But what you can do, you can move the trailing stop, and as an example, this is the gold now taking a long trade. As we see on the gold, this is the signal entry, and is struggling with the 793. And what we are going to do, we're gonna just break even. So now at least we are more relaxed. We are not gonna be losing money on that. And now if we want to, we can also push the luck a little bit, and we can override the auto trade if you want to. It's up to you if you want to do that. But now we got it secure. We have a broke even. It's not costing us any money. And then we extended the target. So either direction is very fine. I'm very fine with it. Either go hit the target or close. But even if it close on the trailing stop, it's not costing me anything. So this is the way it is. And as we see, now the ES jumped down again as we expected. And as I said, as long as we are below 4150, it's just short direction. There is no long direction. The gold goes the opposite direction, you know, so there is no big deal on the gold. But if you are trading a YM, NASDAQ, ES, Russell, so you know, as long as the ES has not able to cross the 4150, this means you still have to think short direction. And as long as you are on the right direction, then you can take a manual trade or an auto trade. It's irrelevant anymore. You're going to be fine on that. So as we see here on the ES, the scalper took a short trade, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with this one. We had a sell signal on the scalper 15-second, 41.42, and I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it, you know, because it's short. Now, if this one here, the scalper is coming from this market analyzer. Now, if the scalper is taking a long trade, then I will be concerned. But I know we are in the right direction, and now I'm going to break even. And then once the fib lines comes in to this area here, they're going to readjust the fib lines automatically for us. So I'm happy with it, and I can accept it, the scalper automated trade. We have so many scalpers. Some people make a mistake with the scalper TI7 and another, and we have a new Autotrader scalper as well. There is a plenty scalper, but this one here, the scalper 15 second, is for the signal. So now we broke even. I can be related to the short position from the 1 minute. If we are crossing the 41.38, we are going to the 41, somewhere around 41.30. If we are not crossing the 41.38, we're going to be knocked out of that trade with no money. Simple as that. Dry and cut clean. So now when I'm auto trading the ES, I understand the key to make $500 or $1,000 is to go below the 41.38, or we are going to walk away with banana and nothing in our hands. And now you have a $300. So it's your call. You can take the trailing stop, secure some more profit, and or if you want to, you're happy with just a break even and not costing you anything, and take your chances for this ES to break down the 41.3775. If we break the 41.3775, we're gonna go home free to the 41.33. Simple as that. So you can walk away with banana, you can walk away with 400, or you can walk away with $700-800. And it is the same trade, the same auto trade, the same chart. But now we are educated to know that if we are crossing the 41.38, it's gonna do very well. And the same impact on the Russell, we are going to go ahead and it's gonna be related to the ES. I'm gonna go ahead and break it even. My job is done with it, out of the way, and now I'll keep my eye on the ES. It is very important to see what will happen on the ES. If the ES cross the 41.38 to the downside, we are on $600-700 straight. If this ES not able to cross the 41.3825, as you see, is flirting with it non-stop, is flirting with that number. This is how accurate the system is. We don't need to look at the PNL. We need to see how we can earn the PNL. We cannot just look at the PNL and the PNL is going to get in the green just because we have a beautiful brown eyes or green eyes or whatever. So there we go. And now we are right here, right now, with a $300-400 trade. And we are flirting with the 41.37. If this market go down, we walk away with $700-800. If this market not able to break it, we're gonna walk away with nothing. The market is gonna go back and retest the 41.75. So this is here, right here, is your call, is the trader call. Or if you want to, you can take those trailing stop as low as you want, and you can secure as much as you can. Looking at the market and not doing anything, you're not going to earn money. Just looking, no. We need to work, okay? When you're hungry, you go to the kitchen, you put the chicken in the oven, you eat. You don't put the chicken in the oven, you don't eat. We cannot just look at the kitchen if we don't make food. So in here, it is not to just looking at the chart and you think you're going to come out in the green every day. We need to think what's going on in the market, and we can manage. If you don't want to manage, you are a long way from home. You have to manage. There is no way out of it. Today you try this this chart template. Tomorrow you try different chart template, and you never can get it right until you start understand the market. You don't understand the market, you're not gonna get anywhere in the trading, guaranteed. So right now we had $400 on the ES. It was an option to go on a $700-800, or we're gonna walk away with banana, and we did walk away. I left it to show you that I left it on purpose to show you that yes, we can auto trade, and we should not interfere with the auto trade. Yes, we can do that and let the auto trade do everything for us. But then you have to accept what the market is willing to give you, and you have to accept the market movement. You have to accept whatever you get out of it. If you just want to be automated and you are at the mercy of the market, you have to accept the results. And if you are trying to get involved in what's going on in the market, of course your performance is gonna change to 100% better. You know, I mean, even when you put the cruise control on your car, you don't just put it on the cruise and go to sleep. You know, you keep your eye on the road. And here we need to keep our eye on the chart to make sure that when we are on autopilot, we need to understand that where we're going with that trade and how risky that trade is. And as we see on the ES right now, it's been flirting with this number for over 5 minutes, and that it is an indication we're having a problem in that line here, right now. It's showing a line. You cannot just ignore what the market is telling you. You simply cannot ignore what the market is telling you. And no matter what you do, no matter where you buy your auto trade, no matter how much you do optimization, no matter how good you are with NinjaTrader optimization, and you can pinpoint to the tick on the optimization. If we look at the ES on the 1 minute, and you know, some of them, they are just want to be double blind, and they using a Renko bar. If we look at this ES story today, and from the European hours all the way till now, you can see this ES is having a problem from early morning until now, 41.38. And how are you going to ignore that signal if you are auto trading? How you want to do that? How can you do that? So if you are optimization, and no matter what you are using, I don't want to sit down and fuzzle with the auto trades. No matter where is this auto trade coming from, or which auto trade you are using, or if you are not aware, we have a problem with the 41.38. It's your auto trade become irrelevant. It become useless. You know, don't listen to those guys when they come at night and show you a couple of charts and made 10,000 and now everything. That guy cannot even trade a paper bag, and he claimed he trained everyone. You know, and he's a master. He trained no one. You know, what he trained is a bunch of bananas on an ATR entry. Don't let those guys fool you. And they forget to tell you that part. And look at this market and try to estimate what's going on in the market. Now, if this market able to break the 41.38, then we are okay. We're gonna go to the 41.30, and the gold goes the opposite direction of the ES. It's very fine. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm gonna leave it alone, and there is no trade on the scalper, and I'm not gonna push any trades on the scalpers. and there is no trace on the scalpers, no trade on the scalpers, no trade on the scalper, and I'm not going to push it because we are at this critical area, and I don't want to push any auto trade to go short or long anymore. I'm just sitting and waiting. It's been like this for over an hour, the 41.38. Even if this one here goes further down, I'm not sure anymore about it. It's been too long in there, and I need to be careful how I'm looking at this market. And that's it. There is nothing we can do. If we notice, if you are in a trade and the market go into your direction, leave it, like this one here. This one is going to your direction, and you have positioned yourself from 41.65, which this one here, it was around 9:30, the entry. And it's been going in the same direction, and I don't care. When I get bored with it, and when I feel like it's about to get bored with it, I can just say close position here, and I get it over with. But to go long, I'm not going to go long on any auto trades right now, and I don't believe in any long at the moment. And, you just let it be. On this ES, we just closed this ES on the 3 minutes. 29.75 on this ES. I can accept that. And I don't need to trade anymore, or I don't need to redo this one here anymore. It's finished. But right now, the problem is when the auto trade was on the 41.38, I will not allow an auto trade to go any further in this area here, because it is obvious if we look at the chart, the ES having a problem below the 41.38. And look at this one here. It didn't go as I expected. And now the ES is going back, and we still on the short trade. There is one re-entry somewhere around that area here, 41.43.50, and the 41.50, we still below that one. So there is no long trade. And this one here, it is 41.42.75 as a re-entry short, and this one here as a re-entry short, 41.50. But there is no long trade. And that's it. And now it is 11 o'clock, and the market, as we see here, we had a beautiful spike. We have a beautiful spike here. We have a beautiful trend today. As we said, the market most of the time is spike one time, a day. And from 10 o'clock, actually, until now is 11 o'clock. For the last hour, the ES is going back and forth to the same support area here and has not done anything. So if we look at the ES, it does not require for a guy to sit in a trading room and pay any guy money every month. Just he needs to look at minute chart, ES, and whatever indicator he has, doesn't matter. He can see this. This is what the human is making mistake here with the trading. He keep his eye on the PNL. He's so much occupied with the PNL. Today is $100. Tomorrow is $10. The day after tomorrow is minus $10. But he's not looking at the chart, the physical chart, to see where most likely this market going. We can have the auto trade taking our emotions away. We can have the auto trade have a trailing stop. We can have the auto trade figure out the target for us. We can have the auto trade to break even, daily target. We can have the auto trade to do all that. But for God's sake, we cannot be blind. And we are looking at the chart. If you are somewhere else, and the auto trade is trading by itself, okay, I can understand your point. You are at the mercy of this market. But for God's sake, when you are sitting behind the chart and you're not looking at the physical chart to see what is the movement for today. You know, this is very funny. I noticed from our support, I noticed that. And, day after day after day, you don't want to just repeat yourself to the clients all the time, or you say why you're doing this, why, we say everything on a YouTube. Whoever can get it, and who don't get it, don't get it. But I don't feel like when I sit down and fight with everyone when I'm logged into the computer. Most of the time when I log in to our client to give support, I swear to God, I get so sad. I don't see how many times we have talked on the YouTube. I don't see any guy. Some they do, some they don't. I don't see any guy have the blue chart. He don't even look at it. He don't even have it on the screen, which he paid for it. He don't have it. But when most of the time when we log in, most of the time when I'm logged into a client, I see this. This. That's what I see. This and this and this and this, and sometimes when we log into the client, that's what we see. I'm not trying to pick on anyone here, but that's what we see. He don't have the market analyzer on. He don't have the blue chart. He has no clue if the ES is plus or minus today. He has no clue if the NASDAQ minus 2%, 3%. He don't know anything. He just know PNL, 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 PNL. That's it. We have 50% of people. They don't have they do have the market analyzer. They don't look at it. And they don't look at the blue chart. And on top of that, some of them don't understand the fibs. No matter how much you explain, if you don't understand the fibs, Google it, because we can teach so much about fibs, but there is a limitation how much you can teach about. But the guy has to understand what is fibs all about. The guy has to understand what is a stop loss. He should understand what is a trailing stop. But most of the time when we log in, that's what we see. Now, if we look at this picture here, I have no clue if the ES plus or minus 3%, 5%. I have no clue. I don't know what is the NASDAQ. I don't know if the NASDAQ synchronizing with the ES. I don't know if the YM is synchronizing with the ES. I don't know if there are three position, ES, NASDAQ, and ES, they are going on the same direction, or one is long and one, I have no idea. Now when I'm looking at this screen here, I'm totally blind. I have no clue what I'm doing anymore. And that it is, you can go day after day and you tell this guy, look at the blue chart, but when we are dealing with adult people, you don't have to repeat yourself constantly. You say it once, and who get it, and who don't get it, don't get it. Then it will be expensive for him. So this is not a place for ignoring signals in the market. This is not a place to ignore education in this business here. And when I remove those white charts from here, when I'm start looking at this market analyzer, and the things is, when you are using those white charts and you're not looking at this market and you're not looking at this market analyzer, one of the guys said that, he said, Sam, when I use, because we have indicators for a chop market, the B scalper, and we have indicators for overnight, and we have those auto trades for when the market is trending. On Monday, I was covering, there's a certain entries on the auto trade. You can use it at 9:30. There is different entries. You can use it overnight. And when this guy is opening those white chart, and he has no clue, if we let me show you. If we look at this market analyzer, you have the ES to the sell position, the Nasdaq to the sell position, and guess what? The YM is taking a beat, is in red flag, and it is hammered with losses on the YM because it's going the opposite direction of the ES and Nasdaq. And that is unavoidable. You cannot avoid that. They are not in sequence, the ES, Nasdaq, Dow Jones. So when there is a guy is auto trading right now, he's going the opposite direction of the ES, and he's gonna be hammered. Doesn't matter which auto trade he's using, he's gonna be hammered if this one here going his auto trade long. And that exactly, Louis. Exactly, Louis. So what I'm saying is, guys, for God's sake, this is not a market in a place, and we're not trying to do a market here. We are trying to say a special message to everyone out there. I have no bread with you. I'm not against you. I care less if you purchase from me or somebody else. This is the last things I have on my mind. But please, please, for those guys, before you start using your real money and start daydreaming, if you are not prepared to learn the market, if you want to buy an auto trade, try to buy it from a guy. At least you have dignity to come at daytime and show what kind of qualification he have as a trader. Not as a guy can give you a couple videos how to optimize, claiming he trained everyone in this industry, you know. And from the end of it, if you are not willing to look like something on like this blue chart here, if you are not able, whatever indicators you have, whatever your favorite indicator you have, if you're not able to look at the technical chart on minute, not a those Renko bar or a kinky line break, God knows what is that. You cannot trade out of a line break. You cannot. Renko bar is a myth, you know, it's only for reversal and to cover all the minus in the auto trade, the Renko bars. The only time you can identify the market, Ninja Trader is in minute, for God's sake. Is in minute. Look at the bottom here. Is in minute. A lack of information, a lack of knowledge, a lack of money, and then you add on it a Renko bar. How many people you have seen, profitable trader, using a Renko bar? The older guys, we know a lot of older guys, they still use range. Those guys are having a problem with the range, and they are shrinking. Maybe you guys don't know, but we know a lot of people for the last 20 years. And in the older days, there is a time where the range chart, and until now we have some customer when we are trying to do the installation, you can still see some people using range, and you can tell right away he's an older guy trading, because the range, there is one period in the trading, the range was perfect for a reversal trade and trading with the trend. But in 2021, the range become very thin, and and they have, there is a period. Everything in the trading, there is period. There is a period, a time, the range was very success. There is a period time, the CL, 3, 4, 5 years ago, there is a period on the CL where you can get a couple of $3,000 a day easily on the CL. Using just a MACD ATR, and you can get a couple of 3,000. Those days are over. The range is over. We are in 2021. The algorithm is all on minutes. So when you are fighting with somebody out there, you are fighting on minutes. You don't want to fight a guy using a Renko bar. He is already dead before he even starts. He's a dead meat. Even if you have 5,000, if even he have 10,000, he's going to start today. He's a dead meat in this business if he's going to use a Renko bar. He is on a full speed, full throttle to hit the wall and pass out. That's it. It's a matter of time before he jump out of a balcony. And then he's out of the game. He can go cry on the net as much as he wants. The end of the day, he's out of the ring. And then he's finished. And then after a couple of 3 years, he come back. If he's smart, he stop using Renko bar to look at the market. If he's not smart, then he's going to lose again and disappear another 2 years, come back. Then the charts are in minutes, gentlemen. If you don't look at this blue chart, you have no, I'm not saying the blue chart, any indicators. Forget this blue chart. Any indicators you have under your sleeves. Whatever system turns you on is fine with me. Before we start using Autotrade, look at your 1 minute chart. If you want to be more professional, you have to look at the 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes if you want to. But forget it. The 1 minute is fine enough because it can give you immediate indication how the trend is working. By just shooting a blind on an auto trade, you're going to stay in the circle the rest of your life, and you're fooling yourself. When we are looking at this blue chart or any indicators you have, or any charts you have, or any favorite indicators you have from a different company, most of those companies, they are using Renko bar to cover the mess, the weakness of those indicators. They cover themselves in a Renko bar because a Renko bars looks perfect. But Renko bars are not even near perfect. It's fake. The auto trade is fake. Everything is fake. Even if we cover we have one special entry for a Renko bar on the TI7. And it's fine, it's profitable, but you cannot optimize it because it's fake numbers. It gives you profit factor 5 and 6 and 10, but they are fake numbers. But we can load it and use the Renko bar on the high time frame, on a high hours, like say 9:30. But when we are auto trading, as we see here, if we look at this chart right there, on that chart here today, the market was spiked right there and finished right here. And it's finished. And now for 1 hour stayed sideways. And now look, it came in. Go back to the video and see what time I said I estimated this market is going to come somewhere around there, and it's finished. And now here we have fired the reversal. It's going back as a re-entry at 41.37, and it's finished. It's a dead market. And you cannot trade a dead market anymore. And this is the problem when you are auto trading, whether you are using our auto trade or somebody else, doesn't matter. When you are auto trading and you are anywhere this sideways for 2 hours, you're gonna dive into trouble. So I'm not asking to sit down in a trading room and let the schmuck charge you money every day, every month. No. What I'm asking for the traders, whatever auto trade you have, whatever indicators you have, keep your eye on the 1 minute and auto trade in the other eye. One eye, I'm using an auto trade. Now it is 41.25. I want to see what is 41.25 here. 41.25 is coming to the support area, 41.23. If we break this area, which I estimated today, if you go back to the video, I told you today we are going to the 4117. And now if we look, we have predicted 2 hours before where this ES going. We have predicted 2 hours before. How many people can predict it 2 hours before? 10 minutes before, 5 minutes before. And as we see here, once this is where I have estimated, go back to the video. Once we hit this area, there is nothing left. It's lunchtime. This is the first round in the rain. It's done. You know, this is a round in the rain. It's a fight in the rain. And it's finished. So when you are auto trading and unaware when it's finished, when it's over, because you have two sessions, you have the morning session and the afternoon rain, the afternoon session. So when you are sitting in the rain, you're fighting with a guy in China or in Germany or in Australia or in anywhere. You're fighting with him. You're putting your account on the table. He's putting his account on the table. He's auto-trading and you are auto-trading. You know? So which one has more knowledge? Which one has read the market? The party is over for today. You're not the only one is auto-trading. You're not the only one, smart one. There's plenty of smart people worldwide trading. You know, so when you are coming in the morning, turn on your Ninja Trader and you turn on your auto trade, you're putting your account on the table against somebody else. And you cannot close your eye. It's about money. And gentlemen, you can dismiss what I say. You can like me or you don't like me. I don't care. We're not going to get in bed together. We're not going to get married. Whether you like me or not, I swear to God, I'm giving the advice to everyone out there to do your homework before you start using a real money. And don't cute yourself or don't fool yourself if you do not get educated enough. We trained thousands of people for the last 15 years. Some people got the message and some people did not. And guess what? Those people did not get the message. I was the one to blame. And the only one to blame is himself. So whether you want to accept what I'm saying or not is irrelevant. You're going to feel it in your account. And this is not the place to play. This is not a place to try. This is a place, if you are not aware of what you're doing, and don't let those guys fool you at night after the fact, showing you a couple of charts made money today. He have 100 chart on the other monitors, and he have couple of chart success. He's going to show you only those couple of charts. He will forget to show you the 90 charts didn't make it today. And that's why you can see they are using one day Renko bar, one day 177 takes, another day 350 takes. One day is a range, one day is a Renko because there is no stability. They cannot show 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes like what we are doing here. They cannot. They will not. They cannot. And then they know where is your weakness because you're PNL. Learn the market. Even if we don't understand what's going on in here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is those lines. I don't know what is this. Fine. Look at it. When you are looking at this chart, a day in and a day out, the charts start talking to you. The charts start telling you where is the probability today. And when you are looking at the chart, even if we don't understand anything in this chart, a day in and a day out, you start understand the market movement. You don't need to pay anyone. Try to develop your own trading. Try to understand what's going on. If you don't know what you are doing, try to guess. Most likely this number we're going to hit today, the 4117. Let me see if this chart is going to hit 4117 or it's going to go back on a re-entry 4137. A day in, a day out, you start predicting the market because you are trading the future. You are trading the future. This is the scary part. And your indicators based on the past bars. That is scary. So when we are trading the future, we need all these bars here that become irrelevant. That bar. Where is this bar going? This one here is for our information to see, okay, the market was spiking and we have a problem at 41.38 and we broke it and we come down to, this is the information we need from the past. But where is the most likely that bar is going to? Is going on a re-entry 41.37. From this morning, when we started the webinar, I told you I predicted 41.1775 at the first round this morning. And we almost hit the 41.17, 2 hours ahead of prior to this one here. If you go back to this video, I told you where this ES going. And we told you, if this market is staying below that number, that's mean we are going short only, and there is no long trade, and it was no long trade. So it does not need a brainer to understand the market. What you need is a little practice. For the last 15 years, any guy ignoring looking at the chart has fell. Auto-trading. Because there is a certain time you can auto-trade, certain time does not. As you see it today on the video, what we told you, when the market is gonna go, I forgot the number, now the numbers have changed. I think it was 41.50 or something like this. If this market go above that, there is no more trading, manual or auto trading. And now look, the market goes back to the double resistance, and most likely it's not going to happen anything, and we're going to land exactly where we have said, 41.17. The market is over, you are auto trading, you have $700 or $7,000 close. 7,000 close is finished. It's 11:27 is lunch hour. Whether it's 7 ticks or 20 ticks or 30 ticks is finished. The market is finished. It's not going to go any farther down. If it's going to go further down, it's going to go to the 41.17 or 18. It's not even worth it. And it might go back all the way to the 41.37 as a re-entry short. It's not even worth it. You start closing position and you are done for today. You cannot just keep auto trading, crossing the 12 o'clock auto trading and day trading, morning, evening, and you say, what is the aggravation? Why I'm not getting? Because you are sitting on the table playing a blackjack blind. You are dismissing the chart, and you are dismissing what is this. This market analyzer is giving you pretty good idea which every instrument is going in which direction. And here is the things is, now I can see the ES, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, they are going on the same direction. CL is an independent. DAX is going to the right direction. Gold is by the opposite direction, is right. Russell sell, like the ES, is right. Now the 30-year Treasury bond is going the same direction as an ES. One of them is wrong. But at least we know the ES, NASDAQ, Dow Jones is synchronizing, and they are going in the same direction. Once we see the CL, the ES, NASDAQ, Dow Jones, they are going in the same direction, that means there is only short trade. The market is in sequence and is tradable. There is a certain area where the market on any chart or on any given chart, there's a certain places in the chart you cannot trade. Looking at the P&L, you can look all day long. You're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to get a gray hair, getting old, and you're still not getting the idea about trading. What's going on with the NASDAQ? It's the same story as the ES. Now look at this. It's the same line. 13460. This is a re-entry point right there. If this NASDAQ survived that area, there is a re-entry again short at 13,479.25. Let's look at it. Look at this. So you see where the NASDAQ stop? You see where the NASDAQ stop? So whether we are auto trading or not, whether we are done with auto trading, this is a signal right there. There is money in it. There is a money here, and there is a money here. Some people see money, some people see rubbish. Folks, that's all what we have for today. I want to say thank you very much. God bless you all. And look, where is this NASDAQ right now? Do I need an auto trade to see that? How many times we have covered that? There is money in there, whether you are auto trading or manual trading. But we're not occupying ourselves looking at just stupid P&L. There we go. How hard it is to look at this line, and we put the numbers. You don't have to do anything to it, and it's extremely accurate. So tell me which part on this one here you cannot take a manual trade on it. This is money. Whether you are auto trading or you are a manual trading, this is money. Do I need to activate the auto trade? How many times we cover that entry here on a YouTube? For the last 3-4 years, we've been covering this entry. There we go. By just paying attention, folks, the system is extremely accurate. The system is extremely accurate. By just looking at those charts, and you start getting the idea how future trading works. Will be pleasure to have an auto trade, and it will be pleasure also when you are done trading in the summer when there is no volume. You cannot auto trade. Around Christmas, you cannot auto trade. There is no volume. There is no performance on those auto trades. When the kids are out of school, no volume. You cannot auto trade. But you still can find the trades. You know. So when I'm sitting waiting on the on the wife and the daughter, you know, like anybody else story in any house, when you have two women in the house, they never can get ready. Never. You know, and then for a man is already done within 10 minutes. Women, different cut. You can sit down and look at the charts, and probably you will find something like this, and nail a couple $100 trade, and you don't need to wait on an auto trade. You can see spot couple of trades, and you can take a trade, and then you can probably make $200 out of that trade, $100, especially if you are going out with two women. I'm sure there is something, you know, you can use this money for. You find a trade and you take that trade, and while you're waiting on them and you don't get aggravated, and then you find a spot to make money with it. You take that trade manually. You don't have time to auto trade, but you can take a while you're waiting on your wife or your daughter to get ready. You can take a trade. Maybe it makes $50. Maybe it makes $100 because you are aware of the charts, and you don't have time to auto trade. While you are waiting, you can take a trade. Or if you are sitting having a coffee, you see a spot, you can take $100 or $200 out of it. You can do that. But we cannot be totally blind in the market and we say, I'm not making money. You cannot do that. And this is the story of our life. And that's what we have experienced for the last 15 years. So, guys, that's all what we have for today. I want to say thank you very much. God bless you all. And see you on Thursday. Bye for